Hey ladies, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is your daily dose of truth. No fluff, no filters. Let's get into it. People always say that you'll never regret having kids. They're a bundle of joy. They, are the best thing that will ever happen to you. But they don't talk about a lot of people who actually regret having children under the wrong conditions. I have a few stitches that I want to share with you of people talking about the side of that we never hear about, right? People escaping a cycle of trauma, poverty, and burnout by actually choosing to be child free.
I'm almost 43. I'm child free. This was done intentionally. And I don't think that I should ever be shamed for my choice not to have a child. I'm an aunt, and I would be pulled limb from limb for those kids, but I still don't want any. I feel like we've been conditioned by society to feel like as women, it's like our life's purpose because we were gifted by God to have children. And I've always known at a very young age that was not something that I wanted to participate in. So as your big sister or aunt, I want to tell you young ladies, if you decide not to have kids, that is okay, my love. And if you do want to have kids, baby, listen to me. It should be a well thought out, planned thing, and you should absolutely take into consideration the person that you are having that kid or those children with. This is not something that God intended for you to do alone, and that's happening way too much in our society. I love you. Whatever you decide, I love you.
I know this is going to be maybe rather unpopular to say, but not having kids has really allowed some doors to be open for me. I was just driving home just a couple minutes ago, and I was sitting here thinking about how I wouldn't be able to grasp some opportunities if I had opted into the young parent lifestyle. And really not a young parent lifestyle, because I'm 32 at this point now. So if you're in your 30s and have kids, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But it's just so many opportunities over the last 6 months to a year have opened up, and I'm just like, wow, I wouldn't have been able to say, hey, I'm going to go live overseas for a year, or I'm going to move across country all of a sudden, or just do a career pivot. I've pivoted my career maybe like 3-ish times in the last 4 years. I wouldn't be able to do that if I have kids, because I'd have to worry about their long-term stability and what's better for them, instead of just grasping at opportunities that will just shoot me off to places I didn't even imagine possible. So I guess the point of my video is that those of you who are in your early to mid 20s, thinking about having kids, give it another year or two and see what it feels like, because you're being to a more professional part of your career, and you could miss out on some opportunities to have some really cool experiences if you are tied down to an area because of the family you've created. So just my food for thought on a muggy ass Wednesday in Massachusetts. So
Some people know early on, especially at an early age, that they do not want children. And that type of self-awareness should not be mocked. It should be respected. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they feel trapped by parenthood. It could be financially, emotionally, mentally. A lot of people choosing to be child free, it's not about them hating children. It's about breaking generational traumas and cycles, especially of poverty. They want to avoid growing their children in an unhealed environment. A lot of people know they need therapy. They know they never had a father figure or mother figure, and they're trying to love themselves in the chaos that life handed to them. They're trying to make lemonade out of the lemons that life gave to them. So if the person is trying to figure their life out, why would they want to bring a child into that chaos? Someone choosing to say, I dodged a bullet by choosing to be child free, is not them being bitter and hating children. It's just clarity.
I've escaped 80% of life's problems by not having children. So I did a video about this on my YouTube channel last year, and it was my most viewed video to date, where I talk about how the only thing that I have to worry about when I wake up in the morning is, do I want coffee or tea? And there's no legitimate reason under the sun for me to ever change that. A lot of people don't have a deep understanding that for many of us child-free women, the decision to be child-free really just comes from not wanting to make our lives harder than it has to be. Because it's like, why would I do that, right? I talked about how I don't have to worry about stuff. And then if I had kids, I would have to worry about a bunch of things, like overnight. If I, right now in my life, I no longer have to live paycheck to paycheck. Now, I'm not bragging or anything like that, but I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck because I used to live like that a long time ago. And now I don't have to. Like, I even have things on auto pay now, because we always joke about, you know, you made it if you got things on auto pay. Like, just take it out of this account. You know what I mean? I have stuff like literally coming out of this account on auto pay, like every week, every month, whatever. And so I literally would go right back to living paycheck to paycheck again and struggling again if I had children. And I have no intentions on doing that. And I don't understand why that's hard for people to get. It's almost like people want you to be miserable with them because they're miserable. Because it's like, what part of I'm comfortable and I don't want to change that do people not get? Like, and if you're pretending to not get it, I'm thinking it is because you're miserable and you're upset that other people won't be joining you in your misery. I never have to know what it's like to have a kid unalived in a school, pew-pewing, or to be bullied or harassed or unalived in any way, assaulted in any way. Like, I'm never going to have to experience that. I don't want to experience these things, you know. A lot of times you guys think that going through things builds character, and I'm like, maybe it does in some ways depending on what it is and who it is. But I don't want to go through my kids being harmed and unalived to build my character. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through homelessness to build my character. I don't want to lose everything that I've worked hard for. I don't want to go back to living paycheck to paycheck to build my character. I would rather build my character by reading books, by learning about different cultures and learning about people and studying human psychology and studying plants and animals and whatever. You know what I mean? Studying the universe in which we live in, right? I would rather build my character by getting out and helping to volunteer at soup kitchens and stuff. Like, that is how I build my character. And I don't associate struggle with building character, especially if it's something that you can avoid. I am not about to get up every day and make my life a living hell just because people think that's what makes a real woman or that's what makes a real adult when you have all these 1,000,001 responsibilities. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm speaking for myself, and I'm also speaking for all the other child-free women out there, and even women who have kids but are like, I'm one and done. You know what I mean? Or I'm two and done, and that's it. Y'all got me effed up. So people have the right to live their lives how they want. But the reason why I say I escaped 80% of life's problems by not having kids is because most problems that women have in their lives tend to come from the stresses of parenthood or motherhood, and also from whatever spouse that they're living with or having to deal with, right? It is what it is. Those are the two, a man and some kids. Those are the two major stressors on a woman's life. Of course, you got money problems, and you have all these other things, the beauty standards and all that crap, right? But the main two things, kids and a man. And I am without both. And I plan on being without both forever. The kid thing is for sure not happening. Done, right? I can't wait till I hit menopause. That way, nature would make that decision for me. Then I ain't got to worry about it no more. But the whole aspect of being in a relationship, like, there's like no benefit for me to do that. Like, no benefit. I see all the ways in which it can ruin my life. I see 0 ways where it can make my life better. So if I take away those two major problems that cause women the most strife in their lives, what strife do I really have to deal with now? Little stuff like don't be late to work, or make sure my Amazon packages come on time. My Fashion Nova jeans need to be here before Friday because I plan on taking them on my trip. You know what I mean? Those are the types of things that I worry about every day, and I want to keep it that way. If you think it's selfish and self-absorbed or whatever, then that's too bad. But I plan on being selfish and self-absorbed until the day I die. Anybody who have a problem with that, that's exactly what it is. It's your problem. Scamper off and find a way to deal with it.
13 reasons that I love being child-free. 1, I'm a girl who needs her sleep, and I love getting 8 hours uninterrupted sleep every single night. 2, hear that? Yeah, it's quiet. My house is peaceful and quiet all the time. 3, I never have to share or hide my snacks. 4, if I wanted to move to a different part of the country or an entirely different country, I could do that whenever I wanted. No worrying about schools. 5, my work only has to support me. If I want to make a change, I can do that. I don't have people relying on me for my income. 6, if I put something down, I don't have to worry about it still being there when I come back to it. Everything stays where it's supposed to be in my house. 7, if I wanted to go on holiday last minute, I can do that. I don't have to worry about school or childcare. 8, I don't have to go through pregnancy. 9, I don't have to go through childbirth. 10, disposable income. 11, I don't have to take a kid with me everywhere I go. 12, I have control over my own time and resources. I don't have to do things that I don't want to do. For example, after school kids clubs. 13, if I'm tired or run down or feeling a little bit low, I don't have to worry about caring for anyone else. I can focus on my own self-care and my own recovery.
The older I get, the more that I realize one of my favorite things about being child-free is the freedom that it gives you and the lack of responsibility. I don't have to be concerned about buying a house and building generational wealth and where my children are going to go to school and if we live in a good school district. That's not to say that it's obviously not very difficult, especially right now, to function in general, but I'm just saying that it takes off so much stress knowing that my actions only impact myself. I have to make sure that I eat, that I do my own homework, and I don't have to be concerned about anyone else because there is no one else that is solely dependent on me. I think that that is a reason sometimes that child-free people upset other folks, because I truly believe that being child-free is one of the best ways to escape the matrix, or at least to start to do so. Not having children, especially as a woman, makes you somewhat ungovernable. You don't have to stay in a job that you don't like because you need the health insurance, you need the income. You don't have to stay with a partner that you don't like or that is not kind to you. And you can just truly move through life on your own terms. And I'm very grateful for that, especially at this stage.
The best decisions I've ever made for myself is to be child-free. And I don't care what anybody says, or if they're gonna come at me in the comments saying I'm selfish and I only care about myself, because people have kids for very selfish reasons. People will have kids to take care of them when they're older, to prove to their parents that they could be a better parent. I literally throw up thinking about that. Literally, my own mother told me, when I told her the shit she did to me growing up, she was like, just have your own kids and do a better job. Excuse me? Just like, so disgusting. And second of all, I don't need validation from a child. That I'm a good person, that I have worth, that I have purpose, because I can find all that within myself. When you look for that from a child, you will inevitably traumatize them, put them into a role they did not ask to be in, and essentially you're making a choice on behalf of someone else that didn't get a say in it, because you wanted to have joy and bring life into the world because it is so beautiful. What about all the other lives that already exist, the billions of them? But it has to come from you though, right? It has to be your own, because you're fulfilling a reason within yourself. Anyways, on top of that, I spent a huge chunk, all my fucking childhood, being a therapist for my mom, for people around me, constantly, literally abandoning myself because I had to make other people happy. And I'm like, dude, I am not putting off my life anymore. Like, I am not gonna be living for someone else. I'm gonna be living for myself, and I'm gonna be living for the people that are already here and existing in the world that I love, that are my soul family. Like, those are the people that matter to me. I don't need to bring another person in here to be like, I don't have friends, so let me have a fucking kid because they'll love me unconditionally. No. Literally, one of the best decisions I could ever make. Literally one of the best decisions I could ever make. I am so happy with my decision every single day. When I have disposable income, I could do whatever the fuck I want. And I could just be free and explore life. And if I want to hang around kids, I will literally go hang around my friends that have kids. Or my family members that have kids. I'm like, yeah, bro, like, let me take your kid for like a couple hours and let me give it back to you. But it's such a beautiful life. It's so awesome. And for anybody that tells you like you're gonna regret it, it's like, I'm not regretting it right now. I'm not gonna regret it later, because I'm not gonna make someone else my guarantee as to why I need someone like to take care of me when I'm older. I'm gonna figure all that shit out on my own and not put that onto a brand new person that I decided to bring here because I wanted to.
If you don't have any children, remain child-free. This message is for my young women who want to do XYZ, whatever it is, but especially for my young women who, like myself at a very young age, I would say 8, knew that they did not want to have children. I have never wanted to have children, therefore I am child-free. I have traveled this world, am about to travel this world yet again. I'll tell you more about that later, but please do not be pressured by society to give birth to children in some way to, carry on legacy, or, who's going to take care of you when you get older, because there are plenty of parents today who do not have any really solid relationships with their children, and therefore no one will be taking care of them, so to speak, when they get old. Remain child-free. Live your beautiful life.
At what stage does having children become worth it? Because I was with some friends the other day and they're all talking about their kids, how they love their kids. I'm the only one who doesn't have kids. I need to have kids. Then later on in the day, we were talking about what our dream day off would look like. And every single one of them do. They all go, grandparents take the kids for the day, and then I get to sleep in as late as I want. And then I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee and drink it in total peace, no interruptions. And then, I don't know, maybe go for brunch. And then I'm going to spend the afternoon at the beach, just laying out on the beach, no responsibility, no worries, just me and the sounds of the waves. And then I'll come home and just have a cozy night in, maybe order a pizza, watch a movie. And I was like, you guys are literally describing my life. Like, oh yeah, no, but kids. Like, no, like, I literally do that exact day 3 or 4 times a week. Like, yeah, but we love our kids. You need to have kids still. Like, I'm living all of your guys' dream days. Why would I change
Some people
that?
call it selfish. I call it self-preservation. If you know you're not in a position to have a child, then don't. If you know you're not stable enough to have a child, don't do it. And that's wisdom. That's not someone encouraging you to go about life the way they went about life. We're telling you to make the right decision for yourself, but also the child that you're choosing to bring into this world. It's extremely selfish to know that you're unstable, to know that you can't do it, but you're leaving it up to your family members who probably won't be around, to the government. You have no idea what the financial situation will be in a few years. And from then to now, you can see the decline. And I want to tell you, whether it is your peace, your freedom, your healing that you're protecting, you choosing not to have children, you have every single right. The same way a lot of people have the right to have children. And if hearing these stories made you feel seen, honestly, you're not alone. Don't let society shame you into doing something that you know you don't want to do. Keep being strong, keep pushing through, and keep choosing yourself every single day. And I know a lot of you, even though you don't have children, you are such an amazing part of society. I mean, you volunteer. Even if some of you have children, you know you don't want any kids after the ones you have, you're still doing your part in society. Don't let people shame you into having more children than you know you can afford. So this is your daily dose of truth. Thank you for making it this far into the video. I post every morning, every afternoon. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, share. Let's continue this conversation down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.